Coming up on Mountain News at 6, crews respond to a fire at a historic former high school gym in Harlan County. Plus, one Pike County man appears in court in connection with another man's death.
First alert weather day has been declared for tonight going into Friday. Details coming up.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Snow is starting to show up on radar in southern Kentucky. Will it be enough to cause traffic problems in the next few hours? Has the latest on this First Alert Weather Day.
That's right, Steve. Short answer is yes, it will, especially south of the Howard Rogers Parkway. Here's the caveat on live pinpoint Doppler radar. You're noticing it looks like snow along portions of I-75 from the Mount Vernon area down to the Whitley County area over towards the city of Norton. But you take a look here at some of the tower cams, especially over towards London Corbin Airport, nothing's hitting the ground. So what's happening is it's being picked up in the upper levels of the atmosphere, but it's just not hitting the ground. So something we're going to monitor very close over the next few hours. Now, First Alert Weather Day continues for tonight into the day on Friday. Another fast mover is going to push in. Snow accumulation overall light. We're going 1 to 3 inches of snow, lower amounts in the lower elevations, higher amounts in the upper elevations, especially in our Virginia and West Virginia counties. We take a look here at the winter weather advisory in effect for the majority of the WYMT viewing area. This goes into effect at 7 p.m. lasts until Friday morning. Here's your setup right now. There's your low pressure system. You can see it's pushing its way to the north and the northeast. So that's what's going to cause that snow chance in the forecast for the next several hours. So if you do have travel plans, make sure you have that WYMT First Alert weather app to receive the latest information for your area. I'll have the complete First Alert forecast coming up in a few minutes. Steve.
All right, Eric, thank you. The old Hall High School gym in Harlan County caught fire early this morning, and at one time officials were concerned 2 people might be inside. WYMT's McKinley Calandrino spoke to fire officials at the scene and those who hold the historic building near to their hearts.
On Thursday morning, local Harlan County Fire Department say they were called to a building engulfed in flames at the Old Hall High School gym. Fire Chief at Sunshine Fire Department, Stephen Hatfield, said they believe the fire was started by 2 people staying in the building when it got out of control.
We had some neighbors that had came down and told us that there was 2 people staying in the basement of it. We reviewed camera footage from the Challenge Academy to see if we could see anybody leaving the building. We couldn't find any footage of anyone leaving.
The building is considered a total loss, but to some, this isn't just any building. It is a piece of home. Tim Engel had lived next to the gym for 65 years, but not only could he see the gym from his window every morning, he was a basketball coach in the 80s and even played there as a kid himself.
It's hard to look at, really. It is. It had been this way for the last 10, 15 years old. Yeah, nothing ever done.
While this school holds many memories for generations of families, it is also where Kaywood Ledford, a legendary Kentucky sports broadcaster, found his passion, and where some even say he began his career in 1951.
Been a lot of things come and go in this building. It's sad, too, but this is always a home. No matter what, you know.
And while the building is no longer standing, the memories will last a lifetime. In Harlan County, McKinley Calandrino, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, just a short time ago, we received a call from the Sunshine Fire Department chief that the people considered missing were found around 5:30 this evening, and officials now say they are no longer persons of interest in connection with the fire as they were not on the property. Officials say they will continue their investigation into the cause. A judge has refused to dismiss a murder indictment against former Letcher County Sheriff Mickey Stines. Last year, Stines was captured on video shooting and killing Letcher County District Judge Kevin Mullins inside his chambers. A judge also denied Stines' lawyer's request to unseal his mental health evaluation. The judge did grant a request for a hearing to determine if Stines should be granted bond. A date for that has not been set yet. Attorneys for the man charged with murder in the Amber Spradlin case are asking for his bond to be reduced again After being requested to meet a $1 million property bond, M.K. McKinney's defense team says they would have to put up $2 million worth of real property. Attorney Steve Romines argues they do not have that, so the request they filed was to either have a $500,000 cash bond or for the court to allow them to post only $1 million worth of real property and the $400,000 in cash. MK, along with his father, Dr. Michael McKinney, and Josh Mullins, are expected back in court for a pretrial conference in February. We are learning more about a Southern Kentucky man who was shot and killed by his neighbor earlier this year. 39-year-old Adam Roark was killed October 8th. His wife says they had numerous documented encounters with the man who is charged with murder. James Gleason answered to those charges this morning. WYMT's Phil Pendleton was in the courtroom as Gleason's case was called and spoke to Roark's family afterwards.
A courtroom filled with family and friends eager to see the case against the man accused of murdering Adam Roark move forward.
We just want to get Adam justice. This 100% could have been prevented. It's been going on for the last 4 years.
Danielle Roark says James Gleason made them feel like prisoners in their own home.
If our girls wanted to go for a walk, if our son wanted to leave, Adam would tell them, you know, James is across the street, you all can't. Or if you're leaving and coming home, let me know so I can walk you inside.
On Thursday, Gleason's attorney asked for an evaluation through the Kentucky Counseling Psychiatric Center.
If there is something wrong with him, then his family should have requested and done something 5 years ago.
The legal process could take some time. The judge did decline to set a trial date, mainly because of the request for the evaluation because of the concerns of schizophrenia. A pretrial date has been set for March the 5th. Roark says that she and her family will follow the case closely as they continue to lift up Adam, talking of how loving and generous he was.
It didn't matter if we had $10 in our bank account. If somebody else needed that $10, they were going to have it.
As they wrestle with the grief and loss, they want to thank their community for standing with them. In Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
James Gleason remains in the Pulaski County Detention Center. He was being held on a $1 million bond, and there was no discussion of lowering that today. One Jackson County man was arrested after police say he stole another man's truck in Clay County. The incident happened in November at a home in Manchester. The man told police 52-year-old Jonathan Brumley of Anvil had stolen his truck and had also hit him in the head with a pistol. Nearly 2 weeks later, police came into contact with Brumley before he was arrested. Police also found Brumley with what they believed was meth when they charged him. One Pike County man is in jail after he was accused of stalking a minor. Deputies with the sheriff's office arrested Joseph Newcomb yesterday after serving an arrest warrant in connection to an incident investigators say took place back in May at the South Williamson McDonald's. In a statement, the department says Newcomb followed the minor into a bathroom stall and exposed himself. Newcomb was taken to the Pike County Detention Center. A Pikeville man appeared in court today in connection to a murder that took place earlier this year. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has the latest on that.
Brandon Blackburn was arrested in September following the murder of 45-year-old Brent Wooten, who was found dead March 1st in the Hellier community of Pike County.
Brandon Blackburn is a defendant who has been indicted and charged with the murder.
Thursday's informal hearing brought the judge and attorneys together to discuss the status of the case. But Commonwealth's attorney Bill Sloan says the evidence is still being processed to get things in place.
Anytime we have DNA involved in a case, it delays it. It takes time. There are some things that the lab has now that they are processing. So at this time, we don't know how quickly they'll get done.
Sloan says Wooten's family has been involved in the discussions.
As always, in any case we have, that there's victims or family of victims involved, and we're keeping them informed.
They were in the courtroom Thursday, where an exchange took place between Wooten's brother and Blackburn's family.
Thank y'all. Do you remember what he just said? I did not. He said I should be able to shoot people like they did my brother. That right there on the end.
supposed to have your head on anyway. Oh, yeah. Did you say that, sir?
Yes, he is.
Did you hear me say that? Well, I'm gonna have to pull the camera. Okay.
Pull it, please.
The brother was escorted out of the room for a while, then returned before the family met with the Commonwealth to hear where the case stands.
We set another pretrial in February, so in February we'll take another look at it and see if we're getting close to being able to set this for a trial.
In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Even through the outbursts, Wooten's family sat united, wearing shirts that read "Justice for Brent." One person was involved in a crash in Knott County. The one vehicle crash happened just before 3 a.m. on Kentucky 80 in the Bearville area. We are told a man was driving a white passenger vehicle when he hit a rock slide. The driver was taken to Hazard ARH to be treated for what appeared to be non-life-threatening injuries. His name was not released. That rock slide closed the westbound portion of the road, but it has since reopened.
All right, here's a look at live pinpoint Doppler radar. We are seeing that snow starting to push into eastern Kentucky. We'll have the latest timing coming up.
And with winter officially almost here, we hear from a nurse practitioner about how to deal with seasonal depression.